So today we're going to talk about the y-intercept. That's where the graph touches the y-axis, or where x equals 0. And also increasing and decreasing. It's the x values where the graph is going up, which is increasing, and down, which is decreasing. The important thing to remember is it's x values, not y values. So if we're looking at example 1, if I'm trying to find the domain and I would drag my pen across, it'd be touching the entire time. So negative infinity to infinity, or all real numbers. Same with my range. It'd be touching the whole time as I drag my pen up. The zeros is where it's touching the x-axis, so it's touching right here. So I would say that's about negative 4.2. Touching right there at negative 2. It's touching there at 1. It's touching there at 3. It's touching there at about 4.6. Then the y-intercept is where it touches the y-axis, so in this case it's right there, so negative 2. Now for increasing and decreasing, what you're going to do is you're going to trace the graph from left to right, and you're going to ask yourself, am I going down or up? So imagine yourself on a roller coaster, and if you'd be going down or up. So if we started over in the left, hopefully you'd be able to see that we would be going up until we got to the peak, and then we going down, and then up again, then down, then up again. And so I suggest that you grab some highlighters, and you would pick a color for increasing and pick a color for decreasing. So for increasing, I did red, and so we said that this was the portion where it was going up, and it was going up here as well, and it was going up here. And then for decreasing, it was going down here and down here. Alright, so whenever I am writing it out, it's only x values. So if I'm looking at this first section on the left here, that is coming from negative infinity, and it stops increasing at the x value of negative 3. So I just use the x value. Now for this second section in between, it's starting at the x value of negative 1, and it's ending at the x value of 2. In this last section right here, it's starting at the x value of 4, and it's going to infinity. Now for decreasing, for this section right here, it's starting at the x value of negative 3, and it's ending at negative 1. So it should complete the gaps between the increasing. And then this section right here starts at 2 and ends at 4. Alright, so for another one, I'm going to again use my highlighters, or you could use colored pencils or whatever. So increasing will be the red. So in this case, I'm increasing right here because I'd be going up, and I'd be increasing right here. For this one, I'd be increasing right here. And then decreasing would be here and here, and I forgot an increasing part right there. Okay, so for my increasing, it is starting at negative infinity. It's coming from negative infinity, and it's stopping right up here. And I would say that's about negative 1.2. And then it starts back up right here. That's about 0.5, the x value of 0.5, and it keeps going to infinity. Now for decreasing, I am starting at negative 1.2, and I'm finishing at 0.5. So notice it just bridges the gap between these two. So then for increasing here, lots of people think that that's starting at negative 4, but the x value right down here is 0, and then it goes to infinity. And then for decreasing, I'm coming from negative infinity. I know it's coming from up above, but you got to think about the x values, and it's in the negative x values, and it stops at 0. And then finally for the rational, this is going down. If I trace it from left to right, that is going down, and so is this curve. So since it's going down in both positions, that means that there would be no increasing. And then for decreasing, you have to take into account that asymptote. And the only one we care about is the asymptote that's going straight up and down. Okay. So this left-hand side, it is going down the entire time from negative infinity, and it keeps going until it hits the asymptote. So then the other curve is starting the asymptote and going to infinity. So basically it's just all real numbers not equal to wherever that asymptote is at 3. So just like how we would write range. All right, tomorrow you'll be taking one of those Google Form quizzes, and so the word you need to remember is scooter. So if you're one of those people that says you forget it, you need to write it on your paper now so that you do not forget it tomorrow in class.